The Bluetti APEX 300. What do you get? How does it perform? And is it right for you? This is a complete overview of everything you need to know about the APEX 300. And I'm not into wasting your time, so let's jump right to it. The APEX 300, the AC charging cable, a DC charging cable for your cigarette lighter in your car, a grounding screw, the manual, and warranty card. The APEX 300 is a 3,840 watt pure sine wave inverter that can output at 120 volts and 240 volts. This does have a battery capacity of 2,764.8 watt hours of storage capacity, has a total of 7 outputs. 4 of those are 120 volt AC outlets. 1 is a bidirectional input and output at 50 amps, 240 volts. We have 1 standard NEMA L1450R port and 1 standard 240 volt 30 amp outlet. The display screen, solar input, AC input at 20 amps, 120 volts, and a 50 amp, 240 volt input. The battery expansion port, the parallel inverter connection, and the dimensions are 21 inches long, 12.5 inches wide, and 12.5 inches deep. The total weight of the APEX 300 is 83.2 pounds, and it comes with a 5-year product warranty. One single APEX 300 can deliver 3,840 watts of continuous output at 120 volts and 240 volts simultaneously. So there's no need to buy 2 systems anymore like it was with the AC 300 and AC 500. One system can output at 240 volts. This is a very modular design, and I think it is definitely more powerful than the AC 500 simply because you can parallel 3 of these units together and you can jack up that total output to 11,520 watts of continuous output, where the AC 500 was only to offer 5,000 watts of output. So if you hear someone say that the APEX 300 is not as strong as the AC 500, keep that in mind. And the APEX 300 is a very quiet operating inverter. It's extremely important if you're considering a power station or an ESS system or an inverter of any kind, that if it's going to be placed in an area where you might hear it operate, that it comes in at lower levels, that might be something that could hurt your ears. So I plugged this into a 240 volt 50 amp charging outlet, and I tested all 3 charging modes. In silent mode, it was charging right at 500 watts, and it was still ultra quiet. I couldn't even get a reading on my sound meter. Next, I put it into standard charging mode, and I was charging right at 1,450 watts, and it was still very quiet with a reading coming in at 37 to 38 decibels. When I jacked this thing up to turbo mode and I started charging it at around 3,850 watts, I was still only getting a reading around 53 decibels. So overall, this is a very quiet operation, and I'm very pleased with the outcome of this test. Something else you want to be taking into consideration is the standby consumption or no load consumption. And this uses around 20 watts per hour, or a standby of about 6 days. And that's without any additional expansion batteries. So you'll see if we turn this on that it actually says 6.8 days that it does a standby. And it actually changes when you turn this on and turn it off. So I love the fact that the APEX 300 actually gives you that data from just clicking a button. A lot of these power stations, when you're trying to figure out the standby or the no load consumption, when you click the button, nothing really happens. Now, this is starting to change in the industry, so I'm glad that Bluetti is leading the way of doing that. And at 20 watts per hour, that is a very good no load consumption. Probably one of the better no load consumption or standby consumptions that you're going to get out of a 3,800 watt inverter. And let me tell you something that is very impressive about the APEX 300. With the UPS function, there is a 0 millisecond UPS backup function. That means it can transfer from one power source to another power source in absolutely no time that it takes to transfer that over. Not 20 milliseconds, not 15 milliseconds, not 10 milliseconds, like almost every other portable power station on the market. This is 0 millisecond transfer. actually the first portable power station that I've heard be able to do that in the industry. We have zero transfer latency, which is unheard of. This is the best in the industry. And of course, Bluetti is using the latest and greatest technology in their battery chemistry. They are using the LiPo4 lithium iron phosphate battery, second generation automotive grade LiPo4 cells. These are prismatic cells and not cylindrical cells. So cylindrical cells are more of a circle, so that takes up more space. With the prismatic cells, they're able to shrink the footprint of this overall portable power station, giving you a battery capacity of 2,764.8 watt hours of capacity. And with just one Apex 300, it can be expanded up to 19,353.6 watt hours by connecting 6 additional B300 expansion batteries. Now you can max this system out with 3 Apex 300s and an additional 18 batteries to build a total capacity of 58.06 kilowatt hours of capacity. These are compatible with the B300K, the B300, and the B300S expansion batteries. So if you are a user of the AC 300 or the AC 500 and you're looking to upgrade into the Apex 300, you can definitely use the batteries that you already have. And here is another very impressive thing about the Apex 300. Because Bluetti is using those very high-grade automotive cell batteries, they're setting an industry benchmark of 6,000 plus charge cycles at 80%. That's over 17 years of daily use, almost 2 times longer than most of their competitors. So for the average consumer, this might be the last portable power station that you ever have to buy, because that is 80% after 17 years. This probably has an easy life expectancy of around 25 to 30 years with proper maintenance. And before I start discussing the charging methods, let me point out something that's very exciting about the Apex 300. And it's an industry first in a portable power station. It's capable of a 12 kilowatt bypass. The Apex 300 integrates with the grid and it powers high demand devices like EV chargers without the risk of overloading. And in the event of a power outage, the system automatically switches to backup mode, ensuring uninterrupted operation of critical devices such as routers, refrigerators, and CPAPs, and just whatever you have plugged in to your critical load center. So correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's another portable power station that's on the market at this time that offers a full 12 kilowatt of bypass. So again, hats off to Bluetti for being innovative and offering all these new technologies in the Apex 300. I think a lot of people are going to overlook these things, but when you start connecting full home systems, these are very important. And here we go again, because the Apex 300 offers bi-directional charging. You could charge this up with an RV park charger at 3,600 watts. You could even charge this up with your EV charger outlet at a max of 3,840 watts. You can do standard charging with 120 volt, 20 amp input that comes with this at 2,400 watts max. And for solar charging on this, the MPPT supports 12 to 60 volts at 20 amps max for each MPPT, giving us 1,200 watts for each one of those. So a total of 2,400 watts of solar input. And that does not mean you're limited to 2,400 watts of solar input for a full home system. You can connect this to something like the Solar X4K that would allow you to bring in even more power and connect multiple arrays into multiple Apex 300s for a total system input of 30 kilowatts. So this can handle a ton of solar input. Now, it may not be the most practical way of doing that, but it does give you the option to really load this thing up with solar input. Let's get back to charging this thing up as a single unit. So if you're on the go and you would like to charge this up, you can use the optional Bluetti Charger 1. That basically connects into your vehicle and can charge this up at 560 watts as you're driving down the road. If you haven't heard of the Charger 1, be sure to check it out if you're someone that travels a lot, because it may save you a ton of headache with having to get solar panels out to charge up your power stations while you can be just charging them while you go down the road. And you can charge this up with a gas generator as well, and it can be charged at 120 volts or 240 volts through the AC output of the generator to the AC input of the Apex 300 at a total of 3,840 watts of input. And you can dual charge the Apex 300. You can use multiple inputs to charge this thing up a little bit faster. So let's say if you can have the charger one, you got solar on top of your RV, then you can have a max input of 1,760 watts while you're going down the road. Or you could be charging this up with AC and solar at the same time to have a total input of 3,840 watts. Let's discuss the safety features of the Apex 300. It does have an integrated AI BMS, and that is a battery management system. It offers multi-layer protection against overcharging, overheating, and short circuits. With the intelligent management systems and thermal runaway protection, it prevents explosions and fires for maximum safety. Let's discuss the robust structural durability of the casing of the Apex 300. Yet again, this is exceeding industry standards in yet another category. The drop resistance of this is 1.5 meters versus 0.75 meters out of other portable power stations, exceeding the industry standard by 50%. I personally like the fact that you can control these portable power stations with an app. With the Bluetti app, which I think is one of the better apps in the industry as far as controlling and doing customizations of your portable power stations, you can do a ton of different things with it. You can customize a lot of different settings. You can monitor what's going on in real time, and you can control everything about this portable power station from within the app. You can even get instant updates, be notified of like storm warnings coming in your area, UPS power outage alerts. So when this switches over, it'll send you an alert that happened, and even reminders for long-term storage. In addition to those crucial alerts, you can control the time of use setting and many other functions of the portable power station from anywhere in the world. And although I may consider the Apex 300 to be my new favorite portable power station of all portable power stations, it does have some limitations. All portable power stations have some sort of limitation, and the Bluetti Apex 300 is no exception. So understanding those limitations and identifying them before you purchase, you're going to be able to make sure you're buying the right portable power station for your needs. The Apex 300, although considered to be portable, this is not something you'd want your grandmother or your child grabbing a hold of to try to move around. It does take a little muscle to put it into place. And although I still consider it to be a portable power station, it is a little bit on the heavy side. And as a standalone unit, it does offer a lot. 3,840 watts of output at 120 volts or 240 volts, a 2,764.8 watt hour battery capacity. So if you're using this for a complete home backup, you'll need to consider your essential load needs and expand it to fit the demands. Although 3,800 watts is a lot, if you start charging up like water heaters or anything like that, you're definitely going to need a little bit more power. But the good news is as I pointed out earlier in the review, you can certainly expand this to meet almost anyone's needs by paralleling multiple of these together. And I think this is perfect for anyone serious about backing up larger loads, from RVing to van life build outs to full off-grid systems, or even homeowners that are looking for a true DIY backup solution. The Apex 300 is perfect for that because you can start with one single Apex 300 and easily expand it as you need. So this is built on the idea that Bluetti likes to call start simple, scale smart. And I like that concept simply because you can start with a low entry of just one unit and then you can scale it as you need. So I do think that that is a good slogan for this Apex 300. So whether you're doing this as a home emergency backup, RV, or a true off-grid system, the Apex 300 could be a perfect solution for you. If you found this video helpful, here's another one that I think you might enjoy.